Yo, picture this. You step in for some cookies and walk out with your name forever in rap history. That's how young Dolph's life was cut short, and now the streets and the court are watching this case like it's the Super Bowl of Memphis. Today, we breaking down 10 facts about the murder trial, young Dolph, Govan, and why people screaming, Yo, Gotti might be next. Let's run it up.
Fact 1. The Mastermind on trial, rap-style punch-up. First up on the docket, Hernandez Govan, better known as Quet. The feds say he ain't squeezed the trigger, but he's the one who pressed play on the whole deadly track. They hit him with first-degree murder, conspiracy, and attempted murder. Think of it like this, Smith and Johnson were the rappers on stage, but Govan, they say he was the DJ, the one who dropped the beat for murder. He didn't dribble the ball, but they claim he called the play, set the pick, and told the shooters when to spin the block. Prosecutors painted him as the plug, the middleman between the street soldiers and the bag dropped by Big Jook, Yo Gotti's brother. They say he lined it all up, even gave the shooters cash to cover their getaway ride. But his lawyer Manny Aurora came in swinging like a diss track rebuttal. Y'all just looking for a fall guy. My client's broke, living in Orange Mound. How he gonna fund a $100,000 hit? He's a nobody. The real boss is already gone or untouchable. So this trial ain't just about if Govan's guilty, it's about whether he's the mastermind, or just a punching bag for a system that needed a headline. But yo, a mastermind is only as strong as his soldiers. So who actually pulled the trigger? Let's talk shooters. Fact 2. The shooters step up. Meet the triggermen, Justin Johnson and Cornelius Smith. Johnson, aka Straight Drop, already got life without parole, sitting down forever like he signed a 360 deal with the state. Smith? He's the one on the stand, turning courtroom witness into open mic night. He told the jury flat out, yeah, we did it, but Govan was the one who lined us up. Smith painted the whole play, said he and Johnson spotted Dolph's camel blue Corvette, followed him to Makeda's Cookies, and sprayed the shop until Dolph dropped. He even admitted Dolph's brother ran out busting back, shot Smith twice, scraped Johnson, and still, they limped off like it was just another drill gone wrong. And here's where it gets wild, Smith ain't testifying out of loyalty. Nah, man's trying to save his own neck. He's hoping his words turn his life sentence into something lighter. So now the jury gotta decide, is he the truth teller, or just another rapper switching up his verse mid-performance? But yo, shooters don't risk it all for free. Somebody had to dangle a bag big enough to make them move. And that's where the $100,000 bounty comes in.
Fact 3. The $100,000 hit. Now we talk motivation, money, pride, and rap beef. According to Smith, the bag came straight from Big Jook, Yo Gotti's brother. Word is, he put a $100,000 bounty on Dolph's head, plus extra payouts for any artist signed to Paper Route Empire. Govan's role? Middleman, messenger, and maybe profiteer. He allegedly promised Smith and Johnson $10,000 each, but only slid Smith $800 before the feds scooped him up. That's like getting booked for a festival, rehearsing the set, and only getting paid enough for Uber Eats. Cold world.
Prosecutors even showed photos of Govan kicking it with Big Jook, trying to prove he wasn't just some random nobody, he had ties to CMG Circle. But here's the twist, the defense says, Govan couldn't even afford to bankroll a hit. They argue he was living broke in Orange Mound, too far from the kind of stacks Big Jook allegedly moved. So, fact 3 ain't just about a bounty, it's about whether Govan was stacking paper, or just playing middleman while someone bigger handled the bankroll. But here's the kicker, when money moves, stories get messy. So let's talk about the witness spitting bars on the stand, and why his credibility is shakier than an unsigned rapper's first freestyle.
Fact 4. Witness credibility cracks. Now let's talk Cornelius Smith, the man who was literally there spraying bullets. On the stand, he tried to play truth teller, but his story got more remixes than a TikTok dance. He admitted straight up, yeah, I was popping pills heavy. Memory a little fuzzy, but hey, I still remember the murder. Bruh, what? The defense pounced on that like a diss track opportunity. They pressed him, how can you remember a murder but forget the details right after? Smith got flustered, laughed, even changed his tone mid-answers, like a SoundCloud rapper auto-tuning every bar until it don't even sound human. On top of that, the man's given multiple different versions of the same story. One time, he says Govan recruited him directly. Another time, he claims he just walked into Govan's house to buy pills and overheard Big Jook talking hits. Same chorus, different verses, but always ending with, blame Govan. The defense told the jury, you really gonna put this man's word in platinum? Or is this just noise from someone praying for a lighter sentence? But even through all the distortion, Smith dropped one clear ad-lib, where the bounty money was supposed to land. Fact 5. Privé restaurant meetings. Here's where the plot turns into a straight mob flick. Smith testified that after the shooting, Govan told him he was heading to Privé, Yo Gotti's restaurant, to meet folks and collect on the bounty. Think about that, turkey burgers on the table, murder orders in the back booth.
He even said Govan gave him about $40 just to buy a car cover for the white Mercedes used in the hit. Like, here, bro, hide the getaway whip. That's Dollar General hush money right there.
Prosecutors came locked and loaded too. They showed the jury photos of Govan and Big Jook together, trying to make the connection stick like album liner notes. To them, it proved Govan wasn't some random. He was tight enough to be in Jook's orbit, moving like a middleman linking shooters to CMG's circle. But the defense flipped it back, saying, just because he ate at Gotti's restaurant don't mean he ordered up a murder. They painted it like prosecutors are trying to stretch the storyline, like claiming every rapper who collabs must secretly be best friends. So, Fact 5 shows the tension. Was Privé just a restaurant, or the spot where street politics got served hotter than the kitchen? But Govan's team? They ain't eating that story. Let's hear their remix. Fact 6, the defense's remix. Enter Manny Aurora, Govan's defense lawyer. Man came in like Funk Flex, dropping bombs over weak beats. His whole vibe? Flip the script. First, he trashed the phone tower evidence. Cell pings? Not exact science. Memphis got over 550 T-Mobile towers, thousands more in total. Your phone could be in 3 places at once. Translation, jury, don't trust the tech. Then he cooked Cornelius Smith on the stand. This the same dude who runs around popping pills, changing his story like it's a mixtape track list. And we're supposed to believe he's gospel truth? Please.
He even mocked the cops, calling their investigation Operation Cookie Monster. Like, bro, y'all treating a murder case like Sesame Street. To him, this wasn't justice, it was clout chasing cause somebody famous died. Aurora's biggest punch, you're making Govan the mixtape DJ, spinning the chaos, but never looking at the execs who really own the masters. In other words, Big Jook, maybe even Yo Gotti, had the money, the motive, the beef, but they walked free. Govan? He's just the easy scapegoat. But the street story already lost one main character, and that was Big Jook himself.
Fact 7, Big Jook's death. Now this is straight out a movie twist. Anthony Big Jook Mims, Yo Gotti's brother, the man accused of putting the $100,000 bag on Dolph, never made it to a witness stand. Why? Because in January 2024, Jook got gunned down outside a Memphis restaurant. No trial, no testimony, no chance to cross-examine. 1 minute he's the alleged puppet master.
Next minute he's laid out on the pavement. Fact 8, Dolph's legacy. Through all the blood, beef, and courtroom drama, young Dolph's legacy still thunders like subwoofers in a trunk. He wasn't just dropping albums, he was dropping blessings. Every Thanksgiving, Dolph handed out turkeys to Memphis families. He dropped stacks for schools, giving kids laptops and supplies. He put his own money into the hood, showing independence, ownership, and pride through paper route empire. This is why the city still screams his name. Dolph was the blueprint, self-made, loyal to his people, refusing to bow down to CMG or industry pressure. That's why it hurts deeper. Man walked into a cookie shop, unguarded, humble, and never walked out. But while they killed the man, they couldn't kill the mission. Like he once said in his music, if I sacrifice myself, will I go to hell? Memphis flipped that line, turning his death into fuel to keep his legacy alive. His story? Still feeding the block. 9. Memphis honors him. Memphis didn't just mourn Dolph, they enshrined him. The city officially renamed a street Adolph Young Dolph Thornton Jr. Avenue, right near where he grew up and made his name. That's not just a signpost, it's a statement. Dolph's presence still runs these blocks. And it don't stop there. Lawmakers pitched making November 17th, the day Dolph was killed, into a statewide day of service. Imagine that, every year, people in Tennessee giving back in Dolph's name, feeding families, serving the community, carrying on what he started. That's bigger than plaques, bigger than Billboard charts. That's cement in the ground and dates on calendars. Dolph's story ain't just rap beef anymore, it's civic legacy. They took the man, but the city made sure you'll never erase his impact. He became the block's blueprint, from camel whips and mixtapes, to a holiday and a street sign. Fact 10. Trial in motion. Fast forward to August 18, 2025, the courtroom lit like a Versus stage. On one side, prosecutors throwing haymakers, timelines, phone records, witness testimony. On the other, Govan's defense rebutting with remixes. The towers lie, the witness is high, and the cops clowning with Cookie Monster names. The jurors? Sitting like front row fans at a battle rap, deciding whose bars really hit and whose flop. The trial just opened, the evidence still rolling out, and everybody in Memphis, in the rap game, is tuned in. But the verdict ain't dropped yet. And the playlist question running through every fan's head: will Hernandez Govan take the fall solo, or will Yo Gotti's name finally echo through the courtroom speakers? This ain't just a trial, it's the climax of a feud that's been simmering for years. CMG versus PRE, loyalty versus betrayal, empire versus independence. The streets are watching. The industry's watching. And justice? Still buffering.
And that's the track list. 10 facts harder than drill bass lines, sharper than Dolph camo bat. From cookies to conspiracies, from $100,000 bounties to a legacy written in street signs, this case got more plot twists than a mixtape skit.
Now it's your turn to drop a verse. Will Govan go down as the mastermind, or is he just the fall guy while bigger names skate? Smash that like button if you riding for Dolph, subscribe if you want every update before the verdict drops, and drop your hottest take in the comments. Cause trust me, the street's gone talk, the blog's gone post, and this story? It's far from its outro.